all the report for tonight, so I'm going to pass it back to you. Thank you again. 73 is all.
Thanks, Wayne. You betcha. I hope the weather holds for you over there a little bit. Get a little chillier. I was looking at the long range for us down here, and it's going to be all in the mid-90s to maybe close to 100. We'll maybe break 100 here. I don't like that idea whatsoever, but there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it. Mother Nature will do what she has to do. We've been getting a lot of smoke in the area here too, and the weather, the breathable air thermometer says not so hot, so we've got to kind of watch that a little bit. Anyway, thanks, Wayne. You take care up there in Vancouver, BC. What a lovely place in the neighborhood. So on over to Mr. Robert over there in Montgomery and see what he's up to tonight. W9AGL, how do you do, sir?
Thank you, Duff, and howdy, kids. W9EGL, Robert in dark Central Alabama, where it's 77 degrees and dark. Morning started off too early. Got up to have breakfast with the Ham Radio Club. They like to get together at 6:45 for a 7 o'clock breakfast. And we had a pretty good crowd today. When the server came around and started filling up everybody's coffee cup, I passed. I said, I'm the designated driver, so no coffee for me. Came home and watched some Formula One racing, qualifying at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. And then the worldwide check-in, do that every Saturday, so I got checked in and confirmed. Then we watched the Blue Angels do their beach show at Pensacola Beach. The audio was missing for the first few minutes, but it came back, and it was no fun watching jets without audio. Got to hear the jet engines. It's the sound of freedom. And then later on, watched from various angles arrivals at Oshkosh. Being a pilot is one of these things. You go to Oshkosh every year. I got to go 2 years. The first year in 1999, we took the whole family. And as we were approaching the area there where everybody was doing their stuff and all the exhibits, they were giving rides on the Ford Tri-Motor, their big airplane there. And it was $35 a ride. And I said, look, it was busy. There was a long line. We'll come back. So we went and did the show, saw the air show, visited all the exhibits and whatnot. And we were going to go back to Milwaukee for a baseball game with friends. So as we're going back to our car, we're walking past the Ford Tri-Motor, which is coming in from our landing from its latest flight. And they were doing this for the Young Eagles program, raising money. And so the announcer says, and flying the Tri-Motor today for the Young Eagles is General Chuck Yeager. And to think I came this close to flying with Chuck Yeager. I took my older son with me the next year, just the two of us, and we flew the Tri-Motor, but it was just some pilot guy. It was fun to fly in the Tri-Motor. It was quite an experience. Speaking of experiences, both of my sons went to space camp. The older one went the year before the younger one was eligible. And we were discussing how much it cost. And Mrs. Bunny seemed to remember it was around $600. Break? So in 1994, 95 or whatever, around $600. Well, now, weeks at space camp start at $1,800. And my 9-year-old, soon-to-be 10-year-old grandson is eligible to go. But if he goes, we're going to have to save up some bucks for that. So, but we did get to go. The two sons, the older one went 2 years, and the younger one went 1 year. And at graduation, they got to meet and visit with astronaut Alan Shepard. Their brush with greatness. So that's what's going on here in sunny Central Alabama. I got Formula One race tomorrow and more flying at Oshkosh. W9EGL. Back to you, Duff.
Oh, thanks, Robert. It looks like you got a kind of a love with it, just like we do, that's for sure. And we got an opportunity to hit Oshkosh in the 60s, early 60s, let's put it that way. And had a lot of fun with that. In fact, that's where I met my wife over here in Montana. And she was working at a place called Johnson Flying Service out of Missoula. And among all the aircraft they had over there was, believe it or not, amongst even a DC-4, a Ford Trimotor. And me being an aspiring pilot at the time, had an opportunity to fly that thing. And I'll tell you what, if you've ever looked on the inside of that thing, you're going to go, I think it's Mon Gingus's Storm Door and Airplane Company. Because it was really a wild time. Great on Yeager. That's a lot of fun. I had the opportunity to, believe it or not, have a great conversation with him. And it was absolutely a wonderful guy to talk to. He doesn't really talk a lot about himself, but it was certainly great to meet him and have a chat with him. So lots of fun. Yeah, Oshkosh, airplanes, what fun. All right, we're at the end of the road, believe it or not. Let's see if there's anybody else out here who'd like to pop in here and say hello tonight on the DRE Saturday Night Net. Come on ahead.